The word of the day today is the Rizzler. Every time I say the Rizzler, it adds one more year to Logan Paul's inevitable prison sentence. Internet superstar Logan Paul has been professionally signed to the wrestling organization WWE for the last couple years now. Last night, WWE's biggest competition signed Logan Paul's biggest rival. That's right, last night AEW had the debut of the Rizzler. Also Big Boom AJ and his son Big Justice, but who cares about them? It's all about the master of the Mew, the Rizzler. Today I'm hyped to the gills to talk about this, but before I do, hey, hi, hello, welcome to the Art of Slop. My name is Dan Frampton. You're gonna comment within the first 3 hours and I'm gonna respond. Okay, let's get on to the content. Before we witness the Rizzler making his debut on AEW television, let's catch you up with some context, because up until very recently, I haven't been on the Cosco guys train, but the Rizzler has always been very charismatic in my eyes. Maybe the most charismatic 7-year-old in the entire world. How old is the Rizzler? Excuse me, he's an 8-year-old boy. But this 8-year-old boy is over with the wrestling audience. But you might be asking yourself, Cosco guys, the Rizzler, all of this internet jargon is just too much for my brain. I know you're not actually thinking that because you're on the internet, but for those who are thinking that, the Cosco guys are a father-son duo of Big Boom AJ and Big Justice. Basically, they just go around Costco rating things either boom or doom. Most famously, the double chunk chocolate cookie. Boom! That's their whole thing, right? Anyway, on another part of the internet, the Rizzler was getting famous for his mewing skills doing the mewing trend. I don't know if you're familiar with the mewing trend, but essentially it was a trend that hit the internet that claimed when you press your tongue against the roof of your mouth and kind of squint your eyes, it makes you look like you have a more well-defined jaw and like you're more attractive. So the Costco guys are running around Costco. We have this 7-year-old kid just mewing. Somehow the universe aligned and they came together. It's the magic of TikTok, really. And did you know that Big Boom AJ was also a professional wrestler back in the day, maybe like 15 years ago or so? He was trying to make his way through the New Jersey wrestling circuit alongside this other guy named QT Marshall. Now QT Marshall works for AEW. You see how all these stars are aligning now? Big Boom AJ did say in an interview that he did prefer to be with WWE, but AEW came calling, so here he is. And to be honest, it's great, because last night AEW had their Full Gear event, and before Full Gear there was a pre-show that aired for free on YouTube. Theinternet.com. That's where these guys are famous. Now, I can't show any of the footage other than the stills from this pre-show because AEW, they do not like it when other people use their footage. They have their robots listening for the sounds and looking for the visuals. So for now, it's just gonna have to be still images. But here we see the Big Show, aka Paul White, coming out to introduce the Rizzler. Would you just look at the graphics they have for this guy? The Rizzler is an absolute superstar already, and he's 8 years old. There's no way this is gonna mess up any child, right? This is gonna go very well for every single child star ever. For sure, for sure, for sure. And here he is, the Big Show, playing second fiddle to the star of the show. Here he is with his Godfather gimmick shirt, the Rizzler. Just coming out, hitting all of his poses, hitting all of his moves. He knows his spots. This guy was made for the spotlight, and the crowd erupted for this guy. The Rizzler is over. Now, if you're not familiar with wrestling terminology, over means like you're over with the crowd. They like you. There was a huge pop for the Rizzler. Pop is a term for like explosive excitement. People jumped out of their seats for the Rizzler, and he just came down mewing. Look at the size of this guy's hand compared to the Big Show's. It's incredible that they got this 3-foot tall little guy to come out with the 7-foot something Big Show. Incredible entertainment. The 2-colored shoes, the waving, non-stop fanfare just hitting all of his spots. The Rizzler is over, ladies and gentlemen, and he was down here not only to watch the match, he had a real job. The Rizzler was gonna be the timekeeper. Now, if you're not familiar with what the timekeeper is, here he is, the Rizzler, walking to his office for the evening at the timekeeper's table, where essentially he is responsible for ringing the bell. Look at the Rizzler over here, hammer in hand, wrestling bell right down there. It was really a sight. And then while he was here, he was hitting some of his moves a little bit, but mostly he was focused. He had a job to do. The Rizzler was locked in. And then down came QT Marshall. No big deal. Who cares about QT Marshall? Adorned in the Doom logo. And then Big Boom AJ comes out with Big Justice. He's got the double chunk chocolate cookies all over the tights, looking like a superstar. And then this shot right here is incredible. You got the Rizzler hitting his pose, about to ring that bell. The AEW medical staff guy beside him just absolutely popping. The Rizzler's so over, bro. The Rizzler's more over than Logan Paul. If there was a Rizzler versus Logan Paul match, the Rizzler would get way more of a pop. But Big Justice did pretty good too. He is the son of a former independent professional wrestler, Big Boom AJ, about to bring the big boom, and he spends like a good 2 or 3 minutes just going around ringside, interacting with all the audience. What a pure babyface. As white meat babyface as you could possibly get. And then they go on and they have basically just like an indie-rific match. By professional wrestling standards, you know, kinda clunky, but very, very entertaining. Alright, Rizzler, you have one job. Ring that bell, buddy. And you know, AJ's probably like in his 50s. He's a little bit older, a little bit stiff, a little bit of ring rust. QT Marshall really did, from a professional wrestling standpoint, carry the match. But my God, did they ever put on a hell of an exhibition. Very entertaining. It was very much over with the crowd. The crowd was eating this up. They had everybody in the palm of their hands in the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. This is still up on YouTube right now, so I do recommend that you go watch it. The Rizzler taking in the sights. He's liking what he's seeing. Some good physicality, some good drama, back and forth hilarity. Big Justice getting the audience back on track. Good match. The Rizzler's loving it. They end up going back and forth a little bit, no big deal. But then Big Justice enters the ring there in the back. And Big Justice has some physicality in store for QT Marshall. Boom! Hits the huge spear, goes down. Gore! Gore! Everywhere, just like Rhino. Big Justice sneaks out, and as you know, AJ's gonna hit the finisher, known as the power boom, right there in the middle of the ring for the 1, 2, 3, ring the bell. The Rizzler. Very huge, heartwarming moment here for AJ and his son. He's always wanted to be a wrestler, and here he is in the middle of a professional wrestling ring with his family, over with the audience. So beautiful. Let's get the Rizzler in here, bro. We need to have a post-match celebration. It's great. They play to the audience, every side of the ring, big pose. You got Big Justice on the turnbuckles over here. He's gonna be doing some serious posing, but he tells the Rizzler, hey, what are you doing, man? You gotta go hit your own poses on the other turnbuckle. Look at that. He points. Look, Rizzler over here. And then there he is. The Rizzler takes to a corner and climbs it like a natural. Look at him go. Foot goes up clean, grabs the turnbuckle in the back like an absolute pro, and hits his pose. He knows what he's doing. Hitting that pose, goes for the Mew. Check out the jawline. Hell yeah. Beautiful. And Big Justice is loving it. Huge moment for the Cosco guys. Everybody's bringing the boom. So good, dude. The Rizzler is so over. He knows this business. He understands it. And like Mance Warner tweeted out, the Rizzler has no emotional connection to this stuff. He just walks in, hits all of his spots, and leaves. He's a true worker. Check out the jawline. Mewing. Oh yeah, back to the chin. Check out the move. Ooh, lips. Lips. Power stance on the turnbuckle. Just owning this moment completely. Hitting the moves, hitting the pose, checking out the audience, soaking it in. Everybody, adulation, cheering, big smiles, big points. Check out my best friend, the Rizzler, over there just killing it. Out of all three of these guys, the Rizzler is by far the most over. But this is the shot right here that wins it. Here is the Rizzler, just so comfortable in this moment. He knows that he's a star, 1 foot down, 1 foot up, just resting on that turnbuckle, that kind of high angle shot. Incredible, dude. He knows that camera is on him. He is eating it up, playing to that camera, following the camera with his eyes as the cameraman moves around, checks out the audience. Absolute so much confidence, so much Riz just seeping out of the pores of the Rizzler. He knows what he's doing. Soft dismount. Big Justice comes in. And if the Rizzler wasn't over before yesterday, he's certainly over now. He's over on TikTok. He's over on Twitter. He's over on X. He's over on Blue Sky. And he's over, most importantly, in my heart. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to keep the Mew strong. Until my next upload, watch another upload. Okay, take care and have a good one.